that's what's been huge for us. And now we have clients because they align so well with our ideal client, and they already know the brand behind Penelope Homes. Our first on-site consult, or even our first phone consult, organically flows for like 25 minutes of just chatting, because about this time last year, you're in burnout stage and there's not enough hours in the day to get everything done. Like, so I had to start. I just thought I was a builder, and I thought I was meant to swing a hammer, and then all of a sudden you're not a builder, you're a director of a company, and your job is much, much more than that. And then
I'm really excited to jump in today's podcast. I've been looking forward to it for quite some time, ever since we talked about the idea.
Yep.
And then we sent you through some questions, and you answered those questions, and I just thought, man, I was excited. Now, if there was a level above that,
I sat on those questions for a while.
I just think that what we're going to dive into today is so valuable. And the piece that we're going to leave to the end is your superpower, which I think couldn't be more perfect for what you do.
Cool.
And I think a lot of guys will take away from it. Not only that, but over the last 2 weeks, I've been consuming a lot of podcasts, listening to some of the world's best founders of companies that have scaled enormously, stood the test of time, and are still standing today. Yeah. Some of those founders are alive, and some of them have passed. And there was a lot of consistency with those, and some of the stuff that you've shared with me over time, some of the stuff you shared here. And so I'm keen to jump into it.
I'm gonna pick your brain on those podcasts. I'm always looking for more. So,
definitely. Actually, two separate topics, but still really, really insightful. One of the founders was Christian von Koenigsegg, who is the founder of the Koenigsegg supercar, Swedish brand. Another one was Dietrich Mateschitz.
Yeah.
Have you heard that name?
No, I have not.
No, but you've heard of Red Bull.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So he was the founder of Red Bull.
Yeah.
And that was his goal, was I don't want to put it on my name. And he even went to one point, he bought out a PR company so they wouldn't publish anything about him.
How good's Red Bull? Right? Extreme sports company that just happens to sell a drink.
Yeah, it is. I'll send the podcast. It'll blow your mind. And I've also read articles on just analyzing this guy, Dietrich, is brilliant. Brilliant marketer, advertiser. He talks about his Formula One teams. Anyone who's watched Drive to Survive, you follow it. He's got the Red Bull team, and then he's got the Alpha Centauri. And he said they are putting, I think, like 200. This is back when it was written. They're putting 200 million into those teams per year. This is I'm sure it's more now, but and it's running at a loss.
Big marketing budget.
Yeah, but he said, I pay $0 advertising.
Yeah,
for the entire Formula One.
Yeah,
and Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
So, and he said the same goes for, rather than paying $10 million for 30 seconds on a Super Bowl final ad, my team's on the field playing the entire game. I get free.
Yeah.
So just a whole other way of looking at it. Yeah. And going, the role that it's playing in the bigger picture. And you listen to these other founders and they talk about understanding we do this for the bigger picture. We do this for the long term. Whereas some of your middle management are thinking the next quarter, and stuff like that. And so it's
that Red Bull ideology. That's extreme. That's pretty cool. How to market a energy drink. Yeah, they have an F1 team.
Yeah.
And they pay people to jump out planes.
Yeah,
they go, well,
and his philosophy was he purposefully blurs the lines between Red Bull the drink, Red Bull the brand, and Red Bull the product, the culture. It's blurred, and he said Red Bull is like, I don't care about the flavor. It is the feeling.
Well, you're not 100%. So they're not, you don't feel like, you never watch F1 thinking they're selling you a drink here.
Yeah.
No idea. Like, no, you're thinking, I need
that to be the best. I want to be Max Verstappen in whatever I do. Yeah.
Watch Travis Pastrana once have a drink of one and jump out of a plane without an airbag. You're like,
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then he got one mid-flight. Was that the one?
Yeah, they two guys jump out after him.
Yeah, that's wild.
Two guys jump out after him and catch him. That's trust.
That is huge trust. I'm not sure if it was a Red Bull stunt, but I saw another one where a guy did jump out of a plane, no shoot, and just landed. He just flew himself into a huge net.
Yes, I have seen that. Wasn't that from like
a while back,
out of our atmosphere?
That was another guy who did pull a shoot, but he jumped. That was Red Bull. And you look at like Red Bull's timeline, some big things that they backed, and that was one that they've documented as being a really great milestone piece. It just set Red Bull another level.
Jumped from out of our atmosphere into and landed.
Yeah, and it was like, this dude is like, there is fire coming off his helmet. You're going so fast.
Yeah.
Some things I wanted to touch on first with you is some real breakthrough moments, because you've been on quite a growth pathway
Yep.
over the last few years, and it's not as though you come a long way and you're now in an awesome position and sort of lining up the next section.
No, not
and
quite.
What I'm trying to, I guess, frame is that you're not done.
No.
And it's not as though Jimmy's the man and he's done it all and he's on top. It's like you're in the middle of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But a lot of learnings, and you put a lot of things in place, and that's what I kind of wanted to unpick with you. So I really appreciate you coming on and sharing some of this.
No, thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
One of the first pieces you raised, and I really loved it, this concept of reframing mistakes as growth.
Yeah.
Talk me through that concept.
I had to sort of came whenever I'd have these chats and talk about the communication we're giving clients and the processes we have, I always in the back of my mind thought there's a client that we had 4 years ago who's listening to this thinking, Penelope Homes didn't have great communication. Like, they were horrible. Like, but it's because we've grown. Like, it is, we had to have lessons. We had to have clients who weren't happy with the communication to go, we need to improve our communication. And that's been across the board. So it was sort of stop regretting that and just go, well, yeah, they were right, actually. I think at the time I was probably a bit come out aggressive and you stand up for yourself, and then
Totally.
you look back on it and go, no, they were right. We did need to improve, and by having that, it let us improve, and now our current clients get the best version of us.
The benefits.
Yeah. Which that was a bit to sort of get through, and
I'm sure that would have been hard to swallow.
Yeah,
We've put so much time and effort into a project. It's like, why are you not thanking me for this?
Yeah.
We've blood, sweat, and tears into this.
Yeah. But we did a lot around what is our product, and I used to think our product was high level carpentry and straight walls, where it's so much more than that. It's how we deliver the product. It's the communication. It's how we warrant that product moving forward. It's how we act in people's homes. Like, our product isn't just a straight wall, right? So that
to hear you articulate that is like music to our ears, because I feel like that is half of our. I feel like our job here is to help some of the builders that come to us understand your product that you're selling is not the quality of the work on site.
No.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
But now you're at a level where it is much more than that. You're not just a carpenter plumbing walls and stuff like that. I learned plumbing walls last year. It's not plumbing in walls. No. It's keep them all straight. But branding is so much more than that.
Yeah.
And maybe going off course here, how did you teach the team? Because you've got a great team that excuse me. Your team really do wear the Penelope brand well. And they take pride in that. How did that come about? How did you get them to understand that our product is this now?
So it came two ways. First of all, when I was smaller and doing everything myself, I didn't quite have the time to spend the time to reflect and do it. So the things were lacking and continued to lack because I was too busy making the walls plumb, essentially. And then it sort of felt we established the team. The team fell into place organically. We've been very lucky that we've rarely advertised for a role. It's always, some people might disagree with this, but it's a friend of a friend. It's a brother. It's a, family members here. It's very much, it's a friend who's already in the business. His friend came on board, and we have a very tight knit. So everyone sort of knew our roles and who we were originally. But it wasn't until I established the team that I then got to spend time to have chats with people like yourself, and really deep dive into who Penelope Homes was. That was a really cool experience. We established that, which is crazy to think that 4 years in we hadn't established that, but sometimes you just head down, bum up, keep going. And then we were able to bring them in and say, well, we know, everyone deep down knew the brand, but then to actually voice it and have that sort of product discussion with people and say, this is that, and to see those, and even to see the apprentices go, no, that is, you're right. When I walk in the door, we greet the client by their name and ask them how their daughter was, and we're not just here to, we saw that that was awesome, because the respect then flowed both ways. It was really nice. They would then ask how we are, and it created a whole new open level of trust, which would just continue to flow in a waterfall effect onto all the different aspects of the business. But
it's interesting you mentioned that, and that's something we observe as well. Is once you become so clear on who you are, who your client is, then because of how you understand them, and you work on your communication, like you said, you can communicate better with them, which means you connect better with them. So you start almost, your building has this, like, where relationship focused builders as
Yep.
opposed to transactionally
100%.
focused builders.
Yeah, 100%. And we're people at the end of the day, so we have children and lives and sickness and mistakes, and it all happens. We're not robots, so eventually that client, that relationship we have with the client, they fully understand. To be honest, it's like, sorry, we're not going to be here today. My daughter's sick.
Yeah.
No worries. That's
And
completely fine.
And the importance of so much to unpack there. But how good is that?
Yeah.
That there is this mutual understanding that we're all humans. We're all working to the same outcome. We're all trying to provide an amazing home and space for you to live in your family from this point onwards forever.
Yeah.
And so because of the focus on the relationship first, things like that are inevitable will come up.
Yeah.
They can be handled so much more smoothly.
And they will come up.
Yeah.
Every build will. We're not perfect. And then trust. Obviously, trust is huge. So we have that level of trust. We have that with the client. The client has that with us. And we used to feel like not a mistake, but a hiccup would happen, and we feel obliged to conceal it and not bring it to the. Now we just, hey, this happened. We fixed it. We did this. We've moved on. Okay, great. Thanks for telling us. And that was
and that builds more trust.
Yeah, essentially.
I think a lot of guys maybe early on in their career don't understand that. Is that I'm being open. We made this mistake. We got a solution for it. It's like a easy way to build trust.
Yeah, we fixed it. There'll be no financial impact to you. Just letting you know that this did happen, but we're here now. That's definitely something we didn't do 4 or 5 years ago. That was just you had this mentality that we were meant to be perfect.
Yes,
and that,
totally.
And once we not flip that switch, but transitioned a little bit into just saying, hey, we're doing the best we can here.
Yeah.
And life happens. I think COVID did that to a lot of people too. It was like, well, there's been things arise that we can't control, and we're going to do our best to work through it. Sometimes it's unknown territory to us. We just have to say, we haven't come across this before.
Yeah.
We're going to work through it and do it that way. But no, and the clientele we have now is they fit the brand essentially. Like we are working for all the right people. So
I love that.
Makes it easier.
I'm going to touch on that in just a sec. More about the branding side of things.
You got to keep up with me, just bouncing from question to question here.
No,
it's your job to hold us on course here. I'm going to derail it every chance I get. Yeah.
Good. I love that. It makes the conversation way more fun. One thing that I really liked you said was the difference of like you realized that you couldn't just work harder, you had to work differently.
Yeah.
Unpack that a little bit.
I came to realise about this time last year, you're in burnout stage and there's not enough hours in the day to get everything done. So I had to start think. Well, one, it was letting go a little bit. I had to bring people into roles in the business that let me work differently, and trust. That was a big one. Starting to pass that off, and we've done that now. So once I was able to bring in the right admin staff and the right supervisors on site and that sort of stuff, that let me pivot on how I spend my time.
At that point, where did you start to spend your time?
So
and how did strategy? How was strategy affected there?
Yeah. So I spent less time on site and more time working in the business on pre-construction. I really enjoy pre-construction. I think that's where the build is developed, and if the pre-construction process is done right, the construction process is a breeze. It's not really a whole lot to do there. But also working on every other aspect of the business. So I just thought I was a builder, and I thought I was meant to swing a hammer, and then all of a sudden you're not a builder, you're a director of a company, and your job is much, much more than that. And then looking at our product through the lenses of sales, marketing, operations, systems, and looking at the bigger picture there. There was a lot of time spent implementing the systems in the last year and a half, a lot of time, and now the systems are in place. They need managing, but they generally take care of themselves these days. So that time spent felt like lost time, but now those systems are in place that I've got free time. Like that. So initially establishing them was a lot of work. Now we're at a point where I get to work on things, and those systems were just operational systems, just making sure that checkpoints aren't missed on site. We're not doing things twice. Get all that stuff into play, and then I could work more on the other stuff. And it was also just coming to terms with there's 12 hours or 8 hours. The extra 4 hours isn't going to be the difference. Go home, go get the kids. Switch off. Now, I can't always do it. I'm trying.
You're human.
I'm working on it. Yeah.
And you care about what you do.
I am actively, and I feel obliged. You'll send an email to a client after hours. You shouldn't. I know, but we just want to do the right by them. But then you also have to do the right by your wife and kids, and make sure that you're present when you're home as well. It's a juggling act, working on it, but. that was essentially found me more time, got through those hard times, put those processes in place and put the people and processes.
People and
essentially.
processes.
Yeah.
That's a massive one.
Yeah.
Was it hard to, because this is something we hear from a lot of guys as they grow and they have to start hiring, to then start relinquishing responsibility.
Yeah.
And obviously ultimate responsibility is on you. That comes down to training and upskilling and leading. But how was that for you going, all right, now you're going to take care of this?
Yeah.
And I guess I'll come back tomorrow or next week. Or we'll talk
exactly.
About it,
Yeah.
How was that?
So we had to put positions and roles in place first to have a order of report and that sort of stuff. The right people made it, but eventually I just had to sort of let go. But you have to let go knowing that no one's going to, no one's going to be more attached to the business than the founder, essentially. And that's not a bad thing, but it just means that people are going to do things slightly differently. And I have to be accepting of that because not everyone can do it my way. Mm-hmm. That's just not possible when the business grows. But essentially, I let them, they learn our way. They learn the way that we like to do it. You put the process in place to just have checkpoints. Things like weekly team meetings where I will be there every Wednesday morning, right on the whiteboard. They enter site diary entries every day. So even though I'm not there, I'm watching. I'm seeing what's going on. One of the photos they have to do is a photo of the job site whiteboard. It says, what they're doing that day, who's coming the next day. And then we come straight back to it. But every time, the more information they give me the site diary every day that says what they accomplished that day, what they're going to accomplish tomorrow, what tools they need to accomplish that tomorrow, and what sub-trades they need to accomplish that tomorrow. It just gets them thinking. And I can keep an eye on it. And essentially, it takes me 20 minutes of an afternoon to double check the job and go, cool, all good.
That's a great example there of delegating and not micromanaging. Like, them documenting what they did and saying, this is what I'm going to do the next day. And so you can come and go, perfect, do that. Or all right, add this or tweak this. But go for it. That's
and rephrasing the how do I do this, that we used to get that a little bit from the boys on site, and it's like, we came across this, I suggest we do this, is that okay? Sounds good to me. Come to me with a solution already. And it only takes 1 or 2 times to do that, and then they go, I think it's a confidence thing as well. And the supervisors and the foremen go, no, I can do this. I don't need to ask Jimmy that. Like, I know exactly the answer. I know what he's going to say. Let's just do it. 9 times out of 10, they're right as well. So, but it's still a battle to let go. Essentially, I'll ring to check in on site, not because I don't trust them, but it's just purely because I'm interested and intrigued.
Totally.
And then by the end of the phone call, I realised I've chatted to Ryan for half an hour, and I'm the roadblocker. I'm the person stopping work being done, essentially.
And it's I imagine there is a line there where it's like, you mentioned there being the roadblock, where you've had all the meaningful discussion, and now you're just chatting, I guess, for the fun of it, or because you're interested in stuff. But even that, when I listen again to these podcasts, these founders, it's they all have that in common. Even though they're at the top, they've delegated out. They're still seen on the production floor, talking to the guys at the front, and they still, a lot of these guys will get emails direct from frontline people because that's where they're going to get the information. That's where, and if the business is your ultimate responsibility and you really do care, which you do, and these founders do, even 40 years on this, 50 years on, they're still caring. They want that direct information. So it's unfiltered, it's untampered with. Even though, say, middle management stuff might have good intentions. It's just, and it's that level of care is important, and you never want to lose that.
No. And I lost it briefly while we got overwhelmed with the workload. It was just get the work done, survive. And unfortunately, we got through it, but things like operations and staff and stuff started to get left behind. I love that I've got enough time now to just not even call it performance reviews, just touch base with people. I love how knowing their personal lives are going. These days, I get a bit of time to actually be on site and swing a hammer, which was, the goal was always to get off the tools, and now it's like, okay.
But now it's a choice.
Now it's a choice.
Yes.
And I get to go back into site, swing a hammer, have lunch with the guys, get to talk with them about how their weekend was and what they did, and sort of be there, and not just be a name that pays the bills, actually have that relationship with them as well, which is, it's really good to start going full circle and coming back to that, which has been really nice.
It's, that's definitely something, if I listen sorry to keep jumping back to these podcasts, but just like I said in the beginning, seeing these correlations between good founders, and those good founders start somewhere. You know what I mean? Like they were also, 5-10 years into a business at one stage.
They're in someone's garage once upon a time.
Yeah. But like Elon Musk is like, I'm leading them. I have to set the example, so I will be on the floor with them.
Yeah.
And amongst it, he is a special breed.
Yeah.
Lots to be learnt, but
Yeah.
he's running his race.
Yeah.
I want to jump into branding and identity and that, because that, like you said, even you were surprised that after operating for a couple of years, only then did you realize, this is who we are.
Yeah.
Talk me through that. What did you think you were, and how did the realization come about?
Kelsey's going to hate this conversation. She's a marketing manager herself. I didn't understand it whatsoever. Branding, the power, what it does. We.
What was your understanding? Or if you could think back to Jimmy all those years ago, define what Jimmy thought back then branding was.
Colors and an icon.
Okay.
Yeah, essentially a pretty logo and a color scheme.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought it was, to be honest. That's all our brand was. We didn't have a brand. Now our brand is, we live and die by it. That is us. We established that.
Do you mind if I read out something here?
Yeah.
Because this is, I thought it was just so well worded, and I wanted to share it on this, if I read it correctly.
Don't give me all the credit for the writing here, JP.
So one aspect you raised was discovering who we are as a brand. You said last year was a major turning point where we really defined who we are and who we are building for. We've fallen in love with projects that center around families, lifestyle, and connection, particularly rural and coastal homes. It's about creating spaces where families, kids, dogs, and loved ones can genuinely enjoy life together. This doesn't mean we won't build in the inner city, as long as it aligns with these core values. And I was like, there's someone who knows their mission.
Yeah.
And that's to me, that's exciting.
Yeah. And I lived it. I touched on it. Not to, for better words, crap on our last dwelling where we lived. I love that place. We raised our children there for years. But there came a point where I started coming home from work and not feeling comfortable in that space. Whether it was the confinement of the suburbs, I'm a country guy. Ideally, I want to be out with space.
Yeah.
Whether it was the design, the fact that I bumped my shoulder on the wall every time, and it would just anger me that every time I do it, and it was there, and you continue to do it. So I started realizing that space was really affecting my mentality. Essentially, I'd come home and be heightened stress, which I just thought, this can't be right. Can't we come home and walk through that door and just go, there's a feeling that I get with that where we live now, and it's not even the home. It's as I come over the range and into the village itself, I get that feeling as well of, okay, this is the location where I can come home. So I lived it. I felt that feeling of not being comfortable, and then thought, well, this is a huge deal to me, and then realized that that's a huge deal to others as well. But I'm going to derail you for forever here.
Let's go.
But the branding thing, we didn't have a brand 5 years ago. We had a name. Now, more than ever, I realized that it was the right name. Like that there was a reason back then, and that was sort of us. We just didn't quite dig deep and just realize, I've always been a dog lover. Everyone knows our.
I think it's also part of building blocks. It would be very unique if you were able to wrap up define the brand in its depth like it is today back then.
Before the companies lived.
Almost impossible.
Yeah. You have to sort of go through the process. Now, the beauty of our brand is it's very organic. It's just, I've just over the years learned the brand is a reflection of myself personally, but also the team we have, the team we've created, and also our clients essentially. So it just took some deep diving to go through and go, no, this is what aligns with us. This is exactly our product. It always has been. We just never had that light bulb moment of, why don't we just do this all the time? This is us.
And communicate it.
Yeah.
So that people can understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was something that I was really excited about when you and I first met, because what you were articulating to me, and I'm serious here. I got off the call, I ran in, I was like, guys, just spoke to this guy called Jimmy, Penelope, ideal fit.
Yeah.
Ideal fit. And ideal fit in terms of who you are, why you do what you do, who you serve, but then also the gap between here's this gold and it just needs to get out there, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so grateful that we get to help you on the biz video side of things.
Turns out there's
that.
a company that helps you get that out there. Yeah. That was handy.
So thank you for the opportunity.
No,
to help you on that.
it's obviously been massive, right? It was a step that we didn't know we had to take, that once we took it, you're like, why wasn't this done years ago?
What have you seen, if we dwell on that a little bit, what have you seen from sort of, let's say, mid last year when we sort of came on board, I think roughly there, to, you mentioned grabbing a coffee earlier, what you've been sort of noticing in like end of last year and since being back this year?
Yeah. So we were chatting about, it happened, in the last 6 months, to be honest. We always knew who we were. We didn't realize that it wasn't known to everyone else. Now, through sort of the power of the brand, our social media, we're finding that clients are coming to us because, one, they already know our brand, our morals, they align with them already. Now, that's the coolest thing we get. We get a phone call with a client who goes, look, we've been following you along now. We know exactly what you stand for. Let's have a chat. We'd like you to build with us. But essentially, we have, you've already been able to, what's the right word, sort of convey that brand to us. Now, I didn't realize that was such a big roadblock that we'd faced, that we weren't conveying who we were to people and putting that out there and chatting that through. Like, yes, people would discover that, but only once they stumbled across us. They didn't have it prior to reaching out to us. So being able to give those people an insight, and the clients an insight to us prior to them even wanting a renovation, that's what's been huge for us. And now we have clients, because they align so well with our ideal client, and they already know the brand behind Penelope Homes, our first on-site consult, or even our first phone consult, organically flows for like 25 minutes of just chatting, because we're already 3/4 of the way there. It's just making sure that the online presence checks out. We're the right match. 9 times out of 10, we are already, essentially, which is really cool to see.
That is awesome. But I love hearing that you mentioned there the organicness of the initial conversation, and it runs for 25 minutes, because that to me says huge amounts about your brand and how consistent you are with who you are. Because like we discussed at the start of this, big party brand is being relationship focused, building for the right people. And I feel like that first conversation is proof to say you carry yourself, whether it be on that first conversation, on site, in your marketing, you are consistently who you say you are.
Yeah. Well, there's no false front.
Yeah.
It is what it is, essentially, which was great. We didn't have to put a pretend brand in place. It's naturally who the business is. So there's no hiding it. I hope that comes across. Like when people chat to us, like, oh yeah, checks out. That's the Jimmy we saw online. Like, yeah.
I know I've had some builders like say that it's a bit odd when people talk to them like, oh, like you're Jimmy. Like, yeah. Or whoever it is in another business, especially if they've been following you for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, man, it's me.
Because they've been following along on the socials and you don't actually realize. We get that a fair bit where the introduction is like, I say, g'day, how you going? I'm Jimmy. And they sort of go like, yeah, we know. Yep. We know who you are. Like, I was like, oh, okay, well, this is what we do. But I guess that's the beauty of just conveying all that information across it. The power of it's huge. It just lets people build trust without even having to personally introduce. We just say the on-site consult is purely just to confirm the beliefs that most people have already, which makes it.
Jimmy does look good. It's good in person.
Exactly. He's got to make sure.
The one thing also we were chatting about when we grabbed coffee earlier was that queue for coffee.
Queue for coffee. I'm really done.
We talked originally because I remember you and I having this conversation about you. Because you would, when we first started talking, you were like, oh, look, I really enjoy this rural stuff, but I don't want it to be communicated in a way where we're not building for people in the city. Because there's still amazing families in the city who you can help. How do we go about communicating that? And I, from memory, I think I tried to explain, if we communicate really well, which we're going to help you do, you're going to want people going, I want that feeling in the city. We have to live in the city for certain reasons or whatever. We like the city, but we want that country feeling. Or you articulated it better than I did, but what have you found with that side?
You're speaking our language. It's only early days. We had a phone consult with a client who literally said those exact words. I think on Tuesday, essentially like, "Hey Jimmy, we've got a job here. We're in the suburbs. We're on a bit of a funny block. We've been following you. There's a house you're building, out at King Scrub. We would like that house and feeling in the suburbs, please? Is that something you can do? And my answer is that's exactly what we do. We can definitely do that.
Yeah.
And not that it's a custom home that suits that custom position. Essentially, it has to be custom. These not awkward, but these different style of blocks need custom. If you just put a catalog home on it, this doesn't quite fit the space.
You mentioned that. I thought it was such a good live case study example. You mentioned you're building your home at the moment, and you looked at a house on that street that had been put in place by a volume builder, and it just didn't flow with the land. And it's like, it should always fit the block, but definitely if you're going rural, you really want to work with things.
Yeah.
And it just looked like a Lego block.
Yeah, it does that a little bit sometimes. And I think
there's a place
display
for those.
homes. There's a great space if you can afford. If that's what gets you living there, you're halfway there. To be honest, so that's awesome. But and anyone who's gone down the design path of a home, the science that goes in behind your north facing, your east west, no windows, your overhangs on the north and south side, all that important stuff isn't sort of considered when you just pick it from page 3 and plonk it here on the block. That's where the difference lies between custom and catalog homes, essentially. But the product gets more because you get our product as well, which is the communication along the way and all that. Everything else, it's not just the house.
And that's a big thing that I know we talked again earlier about, is that the product is now so much more than just what's being built. It's the whole Penelope journey, experience, impact, relationships, communication. Yes, and what gets built.
It's crazy, like more so than the build. I think these days, like we can build a house. That's once it's drawn on plans, we'll make it perfect. Essentially, that part is easy. The part that you get the most of our value is actually comes pre-contract, which is crazy because it's essentially before you've paid the money. All that work's done there, and then it makes just the actual process an absolute breeze during construction. So
this is something that we foresee. We talk, the world's talking about AI and everything will be done for you and X, Y, Z. And I'm sure we'll be talking about that at the summit. That's the plan. But we foresee in the future a growing importance on, like the moment you said, even you see that it's of the product, it's way more heavy. Like, yes, the build itself is part of it, but everything else is really important. And we foresee that becoming more and more important, especially to differentiate you. Especially when the things that like efficiency, it's like, man, AI is going to make things so efficient. So if that is your draw card, you're going to be lost in a sea of other efficient providers down the track.
And there's no secret, we have AI efficiencies in our business. It's fantastic. There's no hiding that the automated emails that everyone get are automated, but it's letting us pass the communication on, and we don't miss it. And it does that so, it's going to be the right word, maybe autonomously, is that a word? Maybe automatically. That essentially it frees up my time to do the things that really matter. So that there is no worry that all that communication has been sent across. It's done. They've got our prelim agreements, our pre-construction processes, all those bits of material that they need. That doesn't get missed. And now I've got the time to do the people connection.
To extend on that, and that's the important part, that you get to have then the personal focus on personal connection. Jimmy with this prospect, Jimmy with this client, Jimmy with this team member, or a supplier, or another contractor, or whoever that may be. And it's not to say that, because some people have this concept, especially guys who are new to, I guess, marketing and stuff like that, and maybe they've had a bad experience where it's like automated emails. It's like, if you put a lot of thought into it, and you put a lot of thought into your branding, and you understand your client, then that automated email should be written in such a way and timed well that when that person receives it, automated or not, they can see it's automated. They go, wow, holy moly, Jimmy and Penelope knows their market so well, because that's me, and this is uncanny how timely it is.
Exactly.
So that's
just and we have that process in place now where it just runs so smoothly. I don't think we've had a single bad reaction from it, because it just lets people get the information they need when they need it. It means they're not overloaded early on in the process. It gets drip fed to them as that, and everyone knows what it's like to receive 20 documents at once. You read 2 and they go, oh God, that's too much. So that takes care of all that process. But
totally.
Yeah.
One thing I want to jump into, moving on from some of that stuff, and thank you for sharing all of that. I know a lot of guys are going to have a lot to take away from that and look at putting in place.
Put
and
my
that.
phone on silent.
I want to jump into some hurdles.
Because
that's a big part about learning. And again, that's and for those who are paying close attention, some of what your superpower is coming in here, is being sprinkled on top throughout this. But we'll dive into more depth and intensity at the end. But cash flow during growth is sometimes things that you don't think of. Because in simple terms, I'm going to grow, more cash flow. But there's some micro elements that are involved in that. Talk us through some of the challenges and then how you work through that.
We had a client recently last year, and they run a chain of GYGs, and his saying was "new level, new devil." Essentially, like we have our goals, we get to there, but then with that comes complications. It's no secret that the cash flow difficulties are one to juggle and manage. And we've grown, fourfold over the last 12 months. It was pretty fast-tracked growth, essentially. We just saw where we needed to get to, the team we needed to get to, assembled the team, and now we can execute, essentially. That brings a pretty awkward growth phase with it, where you have all of the infrastructure in place to be able to tackle the year ahead without the cash flow of the year ahead just yet. So it's just sort of just trusting our process and go, no, this is going to be fine. Let's push through. There's got to be something done for cash flow with builders. That's a tough one. Every builder, the financiers expect you to cash flow it for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's a small business, and you think, well, where is that? I get it. I understand both sides of it. I understand that a bank's not going to pay out on something until there is a product in place. It just so happens in our industry, the product is a $200,000 frame stage. That may be exactly what it is, essentially, and it's taken 2 months to do that. So there's things that we've improved through the help of our coaches. We got building coaches. We're a member of Future Builder who you've had a chat to as well in the past, and go through that and processes we can put in place to make sure that never are we in that position where that was a huge learning curve for us. Okay, you need to make sure that you've got money coming in at the right times. You're not lazy with progress claims. You're sending them when you don't need them, because essentially you will need them soon. And another big one for us was realizing that we need to structure the commencement of projects in different times. You just can't have 4 projects commencing at once, because the first 3 months is always going to be high cash flow. A client might not notice it, but they might think, oh, we've paid 20%, yet every window deposit, joinery deposit, everyone's deposits have been paid, essentially. And that was a big one for us too. Just realize, okay, we used to go and write our own terms and go, 10%, that seems about right. Let's start with 10%, realizing full well
that doesn't cover.
Not even close. Not even close. So a lot to learn there. Well, we're still working through it. That's what this year's hiccups are. Well, just making sure that
ironing things out and
iron those things out. Yeah,
and there'll be. I mean, I like what you said there. New levels, new devils. That's you. Bigger challenges, bigger goals. Bigger problems.
Different hiccups, right? So, but you work through it. It's definitely something that it almost seems repetitive. There won't be a builder in our industry who doesn't whinge a little bit about cash flow, because by the time you iron out, get it perfect, you're ready for another period of growth, and
that's it.
There you go again, sort of thing. So essentially, but it is just a hard pill to swallow. You just have to come to terms with the fact that things sometimes get tight and then they release. And
there's another element. I know, talking with you, prior to this conversation and with other guys, there's the element of you work hard to start attracting, maybe like for some people, larger projects, more ideal projects, and somewhat in your case. And then so you go, okay, well, you put everything in place, good branding, good marketing, you start attracting that kind of work. Oh, now I need to fulfill this work. Okay, so we're on track, but now I need to fill the role. I need to help. So I need to grow the team, tell me to do that. But it doesn't mean that those projects have started or are paying you necessarily. So you've now got to fund these new roles that you've filled. It is inevitable that you're going to have to have challenges and work through them.
And you'll hear many builders talk about knowing their numbers, knowing their margins, their markups, what their overheads are, all that sort of stuff. A big one for us is we know our numbers. We're perfect at. We know exactly the percentage we need to mark up a price to cover the overheads. Generally, you'll find that most builders will calculate those overheads annually. So their overheads are this much, we turn over X, we need to put in 12% to cover overheads. That doesn't mean that the gross income for the year is going to come in perfectly each month on average. You totally. Might the first,
and definitely not before. Then you have to
exactly.
outgoings.
Yeah. So if you're going to turn over $3 million, the first 2 quarters you might only do one, and then the second quarter is going to have the other 2.
Yeah.
But your overheads are calculated annually, so it gets worse before it gets better. It might happen the other way, where you think, well, great, we're flush, we're doing great. Let's buy that new car, and then all of a sudden it comes in up down the back end. So that's just another, not a don't need to win you. You just got to learn. You just got to know. You got to understand that it's coming. The cash, yes.
And in many regards, there are some, and this is something that I've found as well through life and business. You can't learn some things until you're in it, because you don't have the pigeonhole with which to comprehend that information, to do anything with it. It's like talking to like new dads, and it's like I can talk to you all day about how to, be a dad in the early stages, although you forget a lot very quickly. We're about to go back in for a third, which we're very excited about. And I can talk to you about what the challenges that will come with having a kid and that, and how to support your other kids, how to support your wife, how to do that. But it's not going to mean much to you. And I've mentioned things to a lot of, and I've had a lot of things obviously mentioned to me by older dads that I talk to, and it's only like ages later they're like, oh, I remember you said that to me and I didn't comprehend it, but now that I'm in it, now I'm 9 months in, it's like, I totally get it.
Yeah, and you have to live it first to understand, and then once you do live it, the second time you relive it, it's not even a point of stress. Like you're like, oh yeah, I know. We have that we have that every day, really. Like you have. I think of things that would have stressed me out 4 years ago, and now they happen daily, and you're like, oh yeah, that's fine.
Totally.
Right. Yeah.
And the other thing would be when sometimes you're exposed to the same information, but because you've grown, you interpret it differently, and it means something new to then grow further.
100%.
And like you can read the same book, once a year for the next 5 years, and it'll help you grow further every year, and it means something different.
Yeah, and you're pulling a different part of it each time you read it, right? You're aligning with a different aspect every single time. No, 100%. I don't think there's a fix for that. Essentially,
no.
I love that.
That's life.
Yeah, I love that I can give someone a call and talk that moment through. That's awesome. Not to have to do that by yourself. You just call someone and say, "Going through this. Have you gone through this?" Yeah, I did. Went through this. This is what we did. Yeah. Don't know if that helps. That's worst case scenario. It's a issue shared, issue halved. Essentially, like you've at least chatted to someone about it. So that's half the challenge to start with. And
that's so important to have someone to talk to. That's
huge in our industry because essentially we all have wives and partners we can go home to, but it's a different issue. It's a construction based issue. It's really good to be able to talk to people who align with, probably going to segue into obviously what you guys are hosting and being able to have that connection, which is huge. Network of builders, I call 4 or 5 daily, essentially.
And it's cool to hear you affirming that, because obviously we hear it a lot, and we've seen the need and gone, cool, that's why the summit is happening, is so that guys can get around, interface with people, to build relationships, and ultimately we want guys leaving the summit with really great friendships that they can lean on, they can call on, because for a lot of guys out there, and I spoke to one guy 2 days ago, it's just head down, bum up. You're either at work trying to run a business, projects, team members, clients, and home.
School pickup.
There's no time to, and you often don't feel like, because of so many elements, you can't talk to the builder across the road. Yeah. For some people, it's, well, he's my competitor. I don't want to be vulnerable, open to him. He might use it against me if we were to tender together or compete or say something out there in the public. Or I don't have time. You know what I mean? So, the importance of carving out time to go, no, and this is the purpose of coming together. Yeah. So,
there's no builder anywhere in Australia that essentially that time never comes. You just have to schedule it. Yeah. Essentially. And at all times, it's always going to come at a busy time. It does. It's never like, oh yeah, I've got great free time. We'll go do that. It's like, no, just schedule it and appear. And once you get there, you're like, this is where, we have to make sure we attend this, because they're massively important to have those chats.
And maybe because of who we attract, I think we talked to a lot of guys that are part of a community somewhere, or they maybe found it, or in San Antonio, we have a lot of guys reach out through the podcast to say, this is the only exposure that I get to like-minded guys. My friends and family around me don't get it. I can't talk to them about it. I don't want to, or whatever. But I was talking to a guy 2 days ago, phenomenal builder, what he's built, like large scale residential, award winning. And he was like, he went to the awards last year for the first time because they entered something and they went up to, state level and won state level. And he was like, oh, this is really nice to talk to other guys like me.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've just been in it for so long.
The awards are great. The awards are great for that, right? Like we, as you know, went through a little bit of it last year, and it's just
crushed it.
We did all right last year. But forced reflection, in all honesty, forced reflection and forced time with your team and your partner. And we took the whole team to the Brisbane, and then Kelsey and I went to the Queensland and the Australia ones, and it's just again they're busy times. But then once you're there, it's like, oh, we are here. We did make it. Like you're so busy, full steam ahead forwards. You never really stop and look back and go, wow, Jimmy 3 years ago would have been pumped to be here right now. And,
I think that is so important because a lot of the builders in the network that we interact with, and the guys we like to talk with are ambitious. Yeah. So you naturally go, what's the next goal?
Yeah.
And it's something we've talked about it, and I talk with many guys. Is like, especially from a video marketing side, it's like, oh, this next story about this next project we're starting, it's gonna be an amazing story. Yeah. I want to market this thing really, really well. And then it's like halfway through towards the end, like, no. This next one coming, this one is the one.
I remember sitting at the awards, and when they read out our spiel about who we are and our growth, I remember thinking at the Queensland one, can I message them and have them rewrite this? Because we're much bigger than this. Yeah. Like this story they're telling is not us, but it is us. It's just us 12 months prior when that time came around, and before you've already grown past essentially. Yeah. And you're exactly right. You're like, oh, nah, it's going to get even better. Even it's like, nah, let's just stop and look back and you know what? No, that was a good year. So it is nice to be able to do that. And those awards are perfect for that. Even essentially if it's just a night away with your partner, just to go and stop for a little bit and put the kids and the grandparents and
I think it's also great for, especially, and that's probably the next topic I want to break down, the challenges, being a family man, kids, married, juggling that and juggling a growth business.
Yep.
I mean, maybe you do. Some guys find it hard. They don't want to take their problems and challenges home.
Yeah.
At home, there's enough to talk about when it comes to family and that. Or maybe you want to lend a listening ear and ask questions about what your wife's doing, because your wife works incredibly hard as well.
Yeah.
So has her own career, and so taking that time out, going to the awards is an opportunity. It's probably in some ways for her to get insight into what's been going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And to have a time out.
Yeah, well, we all know how hard it is to have a conversation over the dinner table with a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old around. You barely get a word in, right?
Oh, you speak my language.
So, and it's stuff I'm still working on. Essentially, I'm still not allergic to the old bottle it up, anxiety attack, meltdown, and get all grumpy for 5 hours and then come good again and do it. But we're working on it. It's definitely something that but full well how overwhelming a young household is between 4 and 7. So you come home for a stressful day thinking sometimes that you're going to come home and relax at it. It's not that at all. But I love it. The joy. I've been doing a few school pickups. Our daughter started prep this year, so it's that's another thing. Wow, the old 2:30 pickups. It's halfway through the day, and you got to go home from work and go do the school pickup. But I love it. So much fun to have that time at home and sort of wind down a little bit. So it's just walking that balance line, right?
Absolutely. How have you gone about trying to create balance? Or I talk to some guys who are focused on this idea of balance, and some guys are like, oh, it's not really balance. There's seasons, or there's days, or there's days where I because you run your own company and you've put things in place to have the freedom to, today I'm going to be all out family. I can give my entire day to my family. Other days I've got to call on some help to focus on the business. And so how have you navigated that through this growth phase?
I'm a calendar guy. It's got to be scheduled. If it's schedules, it happens. Now that schedule might be reflection. It might be office work. It's definitely kids pick up. It is scheduled. I have to be a scheduled guy. It gives me really good clarity on a Sunday afternoon. Just if I quickly go through the week ahead, go through the schedule, I go, great, that's the schedule. We're generally booked up at least a week or two ahead. So I know that there'll be no more surprises. I've got in there school pickups Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Osh, Friday. Like I'm aware of it. You sort of make it happen. It's not a perfect world. I think literally 2 days ago, you have to ring the in-law and say, crane's running late. I haven't been able to leave work yet. Can you get the kids? Like,
Yeah.
it's going to happen, but
Totally.
I enjoy it. So that's why I want to make it happen, because otherwise you're just in the motions going through your day-to-day stuff. I love being at work, but there's a certain feeling of when you see the daughter pick her up from daycare and that smile on their face and they're just so happy to see you. You're like, I like that feeling.
And you want to be present so you can enjoy that and not come in and go, oh, come on, get in the car.
Yeah.
You know.
I went through a period last year where it just had to be done. I was doing 12-hour days. It was just 6 till 6 in the office.
Yep.
I'd get home, give the girls a kiss before they go to bed.
Yep.
They'd go to sleep. I wouldn't be there when they wake up. That would have been 3 months straight of just that. And laying that foundation freed up the time we have now. Yeah. But it wasn't great. You're walking the tightrope of burnout and making sure that you're doing those sort of things. And then so now that's one I'm really conscious about. And you can't do everything in a day. So it might take you a few days to achieve the thing you thought you might achieve on Monday, essentially. But no, it's good now. We're in a good position where, occasionally you have a bit of a mental breakdown, you get a little bit overwhelmed, but the construction industry is going to do that for you, right? It's going to throw you a curveball every now and then. You can't.
Totally. You are only human.
You can't control it. But no, it's been a really, it was actually all of last year's goal was for me to do school pickups. That was just the main, that might sound selfish.
I love that.
The main goal was to have enough free time to do 3 school pickups a week. Like that seems so simple. But for all the people doing school pickups out there, they know that you're at the pickup line at 2:30. Like that's a half day, essentially.
And it's not quick.
No.
There's a long line.
Yeah, that's essentially a half day for us in construction. Like my guys are still there for another few hours after that. But it's okay. I'm not, I've come to terms with I'm not working. Yeah. I'm just at work at 5 that morning. Yeah. I'm done by 2:30. I can go spend that time, with the girls and
like you said, you put in long days for weeks on end prior
to get that.
And then there may be a season where you're putting in long hours.
Yeah, but we have the team to allow that as well. The supervisors are on site. The job's looked after.
That's true.
Chantel's in the office. She's got that all sorted.
Yeah.
It's in a position where it's under control. There is no reason why. That's been huge. And that's something we've only just recently come across is you're in control. You're in control of your own business. Like, and other builders out there will know that feeling of that out of control feeling is not a great feeling. You feel like you're just constantly chasing your tail. Everyone's a little bit annoyed at you. You're behind on emails. Yeah. It's not a great feeling. So to get it to a point where you're back in control, it's really, it's a good feeling.
I think that flows really well into the last part of this discussion I want to jump in, which is one question I posed to you to give some thought to is, what do you think your superpower is? And before we go there, because I know you and I have also had fun talking about books, and we love personal growth and business development, and we enjoy those books and content, but we also have sometimes some downtime and like some other books. So we'll get to the superpower of real life, but in comic life or fantasy or fiction, or is there a superpower that you've often thought that'd be really cool?
I've never had that question. That's a cool question. Superpower that I've always thought would be really cool. You're saying this because I like a fantasy book or two when I'm no, I like my magic books. They're
good. They're a really nice little escape.
It's got to be magic.
Fun.
It's got to be magic. Because that's really all opens up all superpowers essentially.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So no, I'm a slow reader for my fantasy novels because again it comes back to when I've got time. Yeah, that's what I'll go to when I'm feeling a little bit out of control. It's educational books, but let's go.
I find that the sometimes I'll read fiction, fantasy. I might leave for like afternoon drive homes or Friday drive or weekend if I'm driving around, or if I've got a long drive. Sometimes that will but superpower.
I'm exactly the same. Yeah. What do you got in front of you there? What did I?
No. I've got your real life superpower. Yeah. But I want to know, what power would Jimmy like to have if he was in the fictional world? Yeah,
cool. Yeah, magician. I want to be magic. I want to be Gandalf. Yeah, for sure. I'd like to be able to, just that I don't know, spell. Yeah, how good, right? Yeah. I don't need to be able to fly and that sort of stuff. I just want to have that bit of force, that sort of stuff. Yeah. I like that. Let's go. Yeah, like a sorcerer. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, don't need to be invisible. Don't need that, but if there's a cloak I can use that's going to allow me to do that, I'll use it.
I feel like there's a few novels here where we're bringing one.
Exactly, right? Yeah, you can see where I nerd out and get my fantasy stuff from.
Funny, is Kels into any of that?
All of them. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, she'll quote every Harry Potter. That's her superpower, actually.
Because that is not at all an interest for Carly.
Really?
And the other day, it came up in discussion amongst some other friends, and they're like, "Oh, really?" And Carly's like, "No, I know." And I was like, "Oh, name one character from, like, this is not the exact example, but because I can't remember the exact example. But let's say name one character from Harry Potter." And she was like, "Gandalf."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Case in point." Let's.
Yeah. Not quite. You're thinking Dumbledore, who's also in love.
It was just, it couldn't be, it was better than planned.
No, that was we definitely had we were aligned on those two worlds. Have
you read Narnia?
Yeah. As a kid, when I was younger. Yeah.
When Audrey was born, I bought the box.
Yeah.
And I read them, and I was like, wow, because I never read them. I watched movies, and I was like, man. And I've been telling Audrey lately, it's like, I can't wait to start reading this to you. I mean, she's almost 6. I don't know what age.
Yeah.
There's because as a kid, the White Witch scared me in the Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe. Yeah. So I'm not sure when it's age appropriate.
Yeah. I think the books can be a little bit lighter, right? My childhood was getting read Harry Potter from. When it came out, I was getting read Harry Potter when I was
reading Harry Potter the belly.
Yeah, I think Dad just wanted to be able to read Harry Potter, and he just thought, well, I'm just going to go in the bedroom and read Harry Potter to the kid. But you
can easily skip parts or make the. I know when Audrey was really young, we didn't use the word witch. We just said, they're not so nice lady.
Yeah.
And then someone else would tell, like, oh, you've been reading that story. Oh, so what do you think of the witch? She's like, what's a witch?
Yeah.
Like, we're not there yet.
I still have to skip parts when I reread books. It's like you can't read Lord of the Rings and not skip Treebeard section. You've got to skip across. You can't do it. Yeah. So, that's when I'm in a good spot. If I can sit down and read a book and but even mowing on the weekends, bang, audiobook, just switch off. People might think that 3 hours of mowing sounds horrible. I love it. Yeah, that's
one of my builders in Sydney, who's also coming to Summit. I recommended a podcast to him, and he was like, "Oh man, I'll have to mow the lawns tonight, so I can listen to
it." Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's when I get the time. Headphones on, away you go.
Back to real life.
Yeah.
Superpower. What you raised was you believe your superpower, and you've, I guess, developed it a lot over the last couple of years, is turning lessons into systems.
Yeah.
Now that's been sprinkled throughout this, which I think is perfect, outlining the importance of and the power that comes from having a problem, so that I don't have to deal with this challengingly again.
Yeah.
What can we do to systemize things?
Yeah.
Break that down for me and maybe an example.
Yeah. Essentially, problem comes, how do we fix this, or how do we make this more efficient? The way we've done that, though, has been essentially quite easy. All we did was just surround ourselves by the right people. So plenty of builders coaches out there, we've actually worked with most of them and taken bits and pieces from that. I keep coming back to that network of builders that we have. So if you have we had a labour issue a few years ago where every job we priced, we just couldn't get the labour right. We'd overrun and lose money. Yeah. We reached out to Kyle and the team at Future Building. He goes, man, I was there. I know that. We have this process. Here it is. So that's the beauty of those businesses is they're going to just provide you that system, ready to go. That's a handy one. But then the other way we do it is we might have a team structure question. We want to make sure that system gets ironed out. It's just a phone call away to another builder, a mate of mine. Hey, you're doing similar turnover. What structure are you doing for your team? And you'll be amazed. Like, it's so handy. That builder, like this week, it was Matty who just goes, oh man, I'll send you our PDs for all the roles. Done.
Yeah, good.
You're like, oh, that's so great. Like, you think 20 years ago it was just like, figure it out, sort of thing. So, creating the systems, as soon as it arises, we create systems. We've got our own systems too, and every builder is different, and we slightly do it, but it's made so much easier by this network of builders because more builders, more communication. Most of the time, they've lived something similar to go through. If they haven't, they'll at least listen to you, and then we can go through and implement that system. So, like you said, for any client listening from who knew us 4 or 5 years ago, it was communication. You slowly get back to emails. It's because I was on site all day, and then you come home to answer emails at 4 or 6 p.m. So we systemized communication, and then we had to systemize payroll, and the more systems and processes we can put in place, just the more time it freed up. It just was a lot of time to implement said systems and processes, but having the people around you, that's
How did you ever have to fight the tendency to? Because if we mix these fantasy worlds and real world, in the fantasy world, like the superpowers, no one is born and can master their power.
Yep.
They must be trained,
Yep.
Practice, and the same in real life. So when it comes to putting systems in place, when you have a challenge and then go, okay, the solution, this needs to be systemized so it doesn't happen like this again. I would imagine there's a tendency to, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling busy, just to solve this problem quick, easy, get it done, get it sorted, get it pushed away, and not reflect and not put a system in place, because that takes time.
Yeah, definitely.
Time you don't have, that you have to find.
Yeah, you need to solve the issue at hand, and then also to find time to go implement a system, right?
Yes. How do you fight that urge? Because that'd be, I think any guy out there would know that. That urge.
I'm always have been. I'm very mathematically minded. It's numbers. I have to know the numbers, and that sort of pushes me in the right direction. So if it's if it's financially based or numbers based, I almost have a need to have to go and solve the equation. And the equation might be, this keeps arising. How do we fix this? And I have to fix it with numbers. But I could even be stressed out at night, and I just have to open up a certain spreadsheet, which might be our overhead spreadsheet or our job sheet forecast or something like that, and update the numbers, and then I will feel better and less stressed. But not knowing stresses me out more than knowing the bad news, essentially.
Totally.
Yeah.
If you know, you can work out a solution.
And I feel in control. Back to feeling, so if we have a cash flow problem, I'd rather know the cash flow problem than be blind to the cash flow problem, essentially. Sometimes that was a hard pill to swallow early. I used to just go, I don't want to know that. I'm not going to touch that.
That's the easy road, and thinking it'll just solve itself. But
it does get a lot easier once you get on the front foot and go, no, this is going to happen. Let's implement some things on this to solve that. But I do, anyone who knows me and the boys on site will know it's very mathematically minded brain. It doesn't essentially mean that I'm great with the, more literacy side of things, but no, that's how I have to operate. Have to know the numbers, the spreadsheets, the systems, tick and flick. Makes my life easier. It makes the business run a whole lot smoother, which, that didn't happen overnight, but we're working on it. There's still, at any one time, there's 20 more systems I want to implement.
I bet.
Yeah, but
especially if you've seen the impact, it's like, ooh, what else can we systemize?
Yeah, exactly. And everything, essentially, and not that's a bad thing. The more we do, the more time we have to be us, essentially, So we just started with the more basic items and worked our way up through that. And, that system might be post-construction system that just makes sure we touch base with clients 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 1 year, 2 years after the job. Hey, just checking in, because life gets busy. I might forget to send that email, but if we can have a system that sends an email,
totally
touch base. Can we come around and fix it? Hey, heads up, you're about to end of your defect period. Can we come and fix some stuff?
And there's so much. One, it should just be the way of doing things.
Yeah.
But two, there's a huge opportunity in that, in terms of just reinforcing who you are in their life, all the good things about you. Yeah. And so it makes you more likely a topic that they will raise in the next chat they come up. Or if someone asks them, how's your builder? Yeah, it was great. He actually reached out the other day, 3 years on. I think of a builder I came across the other day, or a few years ago, who I recommended to him, get in touch with your old clients, see how they're doing. And he was like, no, why would I do that? Because that's just like opening up a can of worms. Yeah. And I was like, that's, I was like, wow, man. Just, maybe just
and we had it recently. There's probably clients that we had in the past that we weren't our best version. So, but I'd be happy to take it on now and you touch base with them. But we did exactly that. We touched base with a really good client we had the other day, and they go, oh, yep, no, look, everything's going great. One minor thing, pop over, fix that. While you're here, we're ready for that bathroom renovation, extension deck, and the carport down the bottom. Like, can you price that? And then we're going back there again, essentially. So you do, obviously, there's a benefit to that as well, just to stay. And they know that you're going to be around for time to come because you keep reaching out, sort of thing. Yeah. But again, everyone loves to do it, but when you're in the trenches and working hard, sometimes the last thing on your mind is to, need to reach out to that old clients. The clients we had 12 months ago, make sure they're doing okay. So,
When you look at the future, Penelope, when you look at this next year, what are you most excited about?
This year, what are we most excited about? We have a really good team, and we have a really good, what do we have? We have a really good forecasted year of work. So we're actually looking forward to just absolutely nailing it. Yeah, we don't need to add too much extra. The structure's in place. All the right people are all in the right places. Over the next 12, 18 months, we just get to improve Penelope Homes, essentially. We don't have to onboard anyone or, grow as a business. We love where we're at. We love the type of work we're doing. Can we just absolutely
crush it?
Crush it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Makes me think of Formula One. It's like, let's say last year we got our drivers in place.
Yeah.
We've got our engineers in place, our team. We were towards the end of last year running hot laps.
Yeah.
Off season was good. We are now ready to just crush this year.
I'm a big Supercross fan. I watch a lot of Supercross, and it's like, the bike's handling a little bit this, bike's handling a little bit bad. We're doing this. Next week we'll work on that.
Yeah.
And then the fast guys are like, so how's the bike? It's like, perfect. What are you thinking? I'm out there going fast. like it's fine. I don't need, I'm not whinging about the suspension or the back end or the handling. I'm just thinking about how fast can I go because you've done the work. The work's done. Essentially, like just bring down those lap times. Yep, sort of thing. So that's
is motocross racing.
All things racing. Motocross and Supercross. So dirt bike racing.
Yeah.
But
jumps around a track.
Yes, that's indoor. Supercross is indoor. Motocross is outdoor. There's a couple of brothers from the sunny coast who are actually the two quickest in the world, which is cool. So, so two Aussie boys, Lawrence's. So that's mine. I was a bit of a dirt bike rider once upon a time. Okay. I'd actually love to get back into it. Kels would say no chance, but hard to think of anything else when you're trying to just stay alive on a bike.
I'd love to get on a bike, but I talked to Carly about it, and she's like, "You mean you want to be an organ donor?"
Yeah. The road bike thing scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, I don't want that.
But
I'd love dirt bike
I get
on a farm, just getting out.
But it's no, my sporting interests are. It must drive Kels crazy because I'll watch the surfing and then the darts and then the golf and then the cricket and then Bathurst is always a big day and it doesn't matter what sport it is. I'll watch it and I'll weirdly know the bare minimum to have a conversation with everyone. Yeah, sort of thing. She's like, how do you know who the top V8 supercar racer is? And I'm like, don't know. Chime in every now and then. Yeah.
If there was one sport that, let's say someone came across and said, "Hey, I'll take Penelope off your hands and run it just like you for the next 2 years.
Yep.
And I'm going to get you the world's best coach and you can have extraordinary progress in a sport of your choice and compete at a high level."
Yeah.
What sport would that be?
Football, English football. Yeah, soccer.
Right.
Yeah. I've played my whole life, so that's my actual sport. That's the sport that I play and still play on.
I can imagine you running to the corner and just knees.
Yeah. These days it's a bit more social level, but and that so is the whole company actually. Everyone in the company's football as well. Funnily enough, that's how we sort of know each other.
Is Penelope going to open up an indoor team?
Penelope already has a great six-a-side team.
Okay.
Yeah. They play. Again, that's just because Reese plays. Semi-professional here, and another staff member plays semi, and they're all actually on payroll somewhere else playing football. So when it comes to Wednesday night football, it's a
big topic.
Yeah, we're
and competitive.
It's competitive.
Like that. That's cool because I mean a topic we haven't discussed at all today, but I'm sure we've discussed it outside this is the simple concept of how you do one thing is how you do everything. Yep. You can't just be and actually the team and I were talking about this. Was it yesterday? A player, Celine? Yeah, yesterday at a team meeting, on Thursdays we have like a late morning team coffee, and we just talk, I guess, socially about some of the wins in the team across, and so everyone knows what's all going on everywhere, and we talked about being an A player because we believe and work at being A players in this team, but you can't just like a football player, you can't just go, I want to be an A player when the hootie goes.
Yeah,
you got to live it and breathe A player.
Yeah,
that's how you operate outside. So to hear that you guys playing, I'm sure you would see the crossover of A player on the field and A player on site. And
we're a team, essentially. Some people refer to their business as family. We're a team. Everyone has a role to play. They all need to play it well for the business to run effectively, efficiently, essentially. So
for the team to win.
Yeah, exactly. And I think everyone that we have on board is team players because they are from team sports as well. But plenty of upsides come with that too. Like you'll hear of white line fever and stuff. Like you can have an argument with the team member, and second you walk across the white line at the end of the day, it's fine. Like it's resolved. There's no so that's a big one for us as well. Is if there's something that's not quite happy with, you voice it. You're not afraid of holding it in and then just presenting that person. But the football's that's the main one. That's the one I have to wake up for at 2 a.m. and watch Liverpool play because they're over in England and doing But essentially. Any sports enough for me. I'll watch them all. Probably struggle with your sport actually. That's the only probably
my sport.
Oh yeah, the rugby
union.
Yeah. There you go. That'd be my only one. I'd still go to a Reds game in a heartbeat, but have you
ever been to an international union game?
No, I haven't. And I was actually meant to go last year to
Like Springboks and All Blacks?
Yeah,
or
I haven't
Wallabies,
yet.
All Blacks,
No.
Wallabies.
No, never been to an international rugby game. Lots of league, lots of
league,
soccer,
okay.
but not much. I grew up watching league, but not much rugby yet. But
Yeah, I think one of the an awesome
I
game
think
to
because
go
we're
to.
not very good at it, so at the moment, so it's like
Yeah, that could be why.
Yeah,
maybe if ever when next, if you can attend like a All Blacks and Springboks game in Australia, that'd be worth it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
And just wear, I don't know, take black and green.
Yeah. See, they are good at it though, right?
Yeah,
But
both nations.
Yeah.
It is religious.
Yeah.
It is like they live it and breathe it. Like the amount of photos I get from my cousins' kids, and it's like they're at like a party on a Sunday afternoon. It's like 3 out of 6 kids at the party are wearing Springbok
you get
jerseys.
FOMO from that. Like I get FOMO, being a big English Premier League fan. You go over there. I've spent a bit of time there. Mum's English, so we go back.
It's a big part of life.
It is the culture, essentially. Come football day, the shirt goes on. The whole day is centered around going to the game, and we don't have that obviously because we're not a footballing country over here.
There's almost too many sports and too many disciplines here in Australia.
I went down. You spend a bit of time in Melbourne, you get that feeling around AFL down there. That's similar, I guess. You go down there and it's game day, and it's huge. But yeah, I love that feeling of just.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah, you don't get that.
I guess I do have FOMO. Now that you ask me, and then the reason I would say, and I wouldn't have said yes a year ago.
Yeah.
Because, last year? The year before, sorry. Went to South Africa for a cousin's wedding, and really awesome because like families from all over the world came together for this wedding on this farm, and he and his wife stayed on the day after the wedding to all get in the farmhouse to all watch the game get played, and we won, which helped. But then, like the whole room was just wearing green.
Yeah,
and I was like, I was getting into it. To me, I still support. This is home, so I support Wallabies come first. But not playing so well at the moment. So I won't talk about that. But Springboks, and I was like, this is electrifying.
It's pretty cool, hey? Yeah.
And then, but to add a level to that, it was like everyone in this room is family by 1 or 2 degrees. Or married. Now we're family. There's like 40 people in the room.
Yeah.
And that was something else. So much so that when I went to the airport the next day, I grabbed a jersey at the airport on the way out. Yeah.
So I miss that for the English side of things. You go there, and it's just like
they're fanatical.
It's too much also. Gets a bit hooliganing, but they're fun. They're fun days. But I'm dragging on here. We can go forever.
No, Jimmy, massive thank you for taking time out.
No, thank you,
and because of the systems you put in place, you can take time out and have these conversations and reflect, hopefully, but also help the industry. Guys can listen to this and learn from it. So thank you very much.
No, thank you, JP. It's been an honor. It's very easy. I was a little bit daunting coming here and sitting down across from you having a chat, but this is what microphone? Exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Thanks, mate.